PMO head is a role under PMO function of a large program which covers the strategic planning activity that is undertaken at an engagement level. This role basically encompasses activities such as integrated program planning, prioritization management based on benefits, interdependencies, costs, strategic needs, and also stakeholder engagement.
It should be noted that although PMO may lead planning activities, they are not accountable or responsible for delivering the plan. This is the role of program managers/function heads and their delivery managers. The inward-looking responsibilities of a PMO head are: enabler for decision-making across all services to Wipro program leadership. Operations support for all functions including run operations, transition, and transformation. Aggregator of services rendered by enterprise architect, partner/vendor management, IT risk advisory team and quality and compliance teams. Project and portfolio management support. Manage cost, scope and change control. Documentation management. Oversight and health checks on the program. Capacity planning and resource utilization. Governance framework and control. Financial and commercial management. Resource management. Planning and dependencies, pipeline and prioritization. Overall accountable for all work streams under his/her management. Likewise, the customer-centric responsibilities are: overall program performance status reporting. Maintain all baseline contractual documents. Invoicing, billing of Wipro services. Program vendors coordination. Performance monitoring and program communication, reviews and dashboards. Collaboration management, communication, stakeholder and knowledge. Risk and issue management. Ensure timely miss and reporting. Expected deliverables from PMO head role are: integrated program plan, program performance reports to program leadership team, periodic or planned invoices to customer, risk and issue management plans, signed and approved contract documents, resource plans and balance scorecards.
At times PMO head can also be called as program planner, who plays a key role in supporting program manager to ensure an achievable schedule for the program and dependent projects. Program manager will have a bigger picture of the entire program, which helps him/her to provide right direction to the team who manage the schedule.
Some of the nuances of integrated program planning and scheduling are covered in this section.
The PMO will provide advice and guidance on planning and dependency best practice, processes, tools, templates, and so on. The PMO will set up and agree planning and dependency processes and tools, including dependency log, project schedule, and so on. The PMO will set up/attend/chair/support planning and dependency review meetings and will facilitate planning and dependency workshops. The PMO will create and maintain a project schedule, dependency log and other such tools. This may be via planning tools such as MS Project, Plan View, Clarity, and so on. The PMO will produce planning and dependency reports, includes the extraction, consolidation, and analysis of planning and dependency metrics for dashboards/reports. The PMO will initiate, analyze, QA and challenge project plans. This may include various activities such as developing a WBS/PBS, managing baseline approval and monitoring, that plans are in line with PPM/corporate standards, with appropriate gateways and reviews planned for, critical path analysis, the challenge of estimates, and so on. Strategic PMOs will maintain a PPM change initiative pipeline plan, which includes work prioritization, linkage to benefits, costs, resource capacity, and so on. The PMO will monitor and report non-conformance to the agreed planning standards, that is, the timing, format and quality of planning and dependency submissions.
The program management plan establishes the program management approach used on program that is consistent with the approach used on all programs using the Wipro program management framework. The program management plan describes the overall program structure, benefits, governance, program life cycle, deliverables, related management plans and procedures, and the methods used to plan, monitor, control, and improve the program component, project, development efforts. The program management plan is a document developed for a specific program, and is updated at the start of the program to document and provide confidence to the customer in the way a program is typically executed by Wipro. Input from the customer will be taken to update and finalize the program management plan at the beginning of the engagement.
Organizational strategy is a result of the strategic planning cycle where the vision and mission are translated into a strategic plan within the boundaries of the organizational values and its strategy. The strategic plans can be subdivided into set of organization initiatives that can be influenced in part by market dynamics, customer and partner requests, government and competitor plans and actions. These initiatives may be grouped into portfolios to be executed during a fixed period. The goal of strategic planning and portfolio management processes, which identify and measure benefits for the organization, provide the program with a definition of expected outcomes and results. When starting a program, organization, or program management team would conduct the initial feasibility studies to clarify and define program objectives, requirements and risks in order to ensure program alignment with the vision, mission, organizational strategy, and its objectives. Planning activities are to be performed to develop and maintain an integrated project/program plan for executing programs, integrated projects/programs. These programs could typically involve the following: supplier and vendor management, system integration, hardware and software development, large projects involving horizontals, large programs involving sub-programs/towers and managed services engagement, projects involving multi-site development and support.
It is necessary to have an integrated view of the projects together and rolled to give a program-level view with all the significant milestones. MS Project offers to create an integrated plan is by creating a master project plan with individual projects being sub-projects. If the individual projects are interrelated and if there are tasks from one project dependent on the task from the other project, then we can link the task across the projects in the master integrated project plan. This creates an external dependency link which is saved into the individual project. At definite intervals, weekly, when individual projects get updated individually, we can create new versions of the master integrated plan with the updated individual plans. This will retain the external dependency link intact.
Each component team executes their associated plans and program integrative work. Throughout this activity, the project manager, provide progress updates to the program managers so that the activities can be integrated into and coordinated with the overall program progress. Without this step, individual components may produce deliverables, but program benefits will not be realized without the coordinated delivery.
The key components of a program management plan are mentioned in this slide.
An integrated program schedule is drawn up taking all deliverables and key milestones from these can be integrated into and coordinated with the overall program progress. Without this step, individual components may produce deliverables, but program benefits will not be realized without the coordinated delivery.
The key components of a program management plan are mentioned in this slide.
An integrated program schedule is drawn up taking all deliverables and key milestones from each project schedule to track the overall program. The program schedule will roll up the plans from the individual projects to provide an integrated view across projects or work streams. All deliverables, critical dependencies, resource needed and critical path items must be identified at the individual project plans and rolled up into the integrated program schedule to provide a program-level view.
All commitments must be updated in the program schedule defined using MPP file. Commitments may belong to any of the following categories: technical, commercial and financial, third-party commitments, information security, delivery, intellectual property, equipment and materials, ownership of work, infrastructure, press release and publicity, incentives and penalties, processes, continuous improvements, or tools and techniques.
Most of the times, project managers have a perception that they cannot control external dependencies since the ownership of these tasks are with the other party, customer, vendor, etc. But, these dependencies can be broken into activities to reduce failure of dependency, and PM can proactively own up these activities by doing early follow-up. Project managers need to classify activities into those that are under their responsibility, those that are customer responsibility, those that are others' responsibility.
This section provides an overview on benefit management where a program manager and PMO head are involved. Benefit management is required to ensure that the expected outcomes of a program objective/change are defined and in line with an organization's strategy, measurable and achieved. Benefits should ultimately be weighed against the cost of delivering, or not delivering, a program objective/change before being given authority to proceed, via a business case.
Dependency log, project schedule, programs, inputs from each project
Being delivered has not changed as the owner for each benefit. Some of the parameters we take into this section provides an overview on benefited outcomes of a program objective/change are defined and in line with an organization's strategy, measurable and achieved. Benefits should ultimately be weighed against the cost of delivering, or not delivering, a program objective/change before being given authority to proceed, via a business case. The benefits should be assessed throughout the delivery cycle to ensure the level of benefits being delivered has not changed to the degree that the business case is no longer compelling. The benefit management focus varies between strategic and operational PMO, that is, benefits are driven at the strategic level where the role is to ensure the alignment of outcomes to strategic objectives and to optimize value versus cost. At the operational level, the emphasis is on the delivery of those outcomes.
Benefit is a measurable outcome of change which is perceived as positive by a stakeholder. Disbenefit is a measurable outcome of a change which is perceived as negative by a stakeholder.
Benefits are generally expressed in terms of cost reduction, cost avoidance, or revenue uplift. Some of the parameters we take into consideration while reviewing benefits are: reduction of maintenance costs, capital investment, unit price, number of required units, avoidance of required work, equipment purchases, resource hiring or any combination of the above.
Benefit management in a program provides alignment between the program, its vision, desired outcomes, and strategic objectives. PMO along with program leaders in an engagement ensures that benefits are identified, defined clearly and linked to strategic outcomes. Ensures that the business is committed to the identified benefits and their realization. Proactively manages the process of benefits realization. Uses the benefits to direct the program. Ensure that benefits realization is recorded, tracked and measured. Keeps benefits within the realistic boundaries of the defined scope and value.
The steps involved in benefit management process are explained here. Program manager identifies the list of benefits for the program by reviewing the business case and other artifacts from handover kit. Program manager prepares a benefits map by grouping the benefits. Program manager identifies the owner for each benefit. Benefits owner defines the profile for each benefit in consultation with program manager. Benefit profile is a full description of a benefit and includes details on measures, ownership, responsibilities, dependencies, and benefit realization measurement frequency. It also identifies the interdependency between the benefits. Program manager reviews the benefits profile and identifies the risks and issues in achieving those benefits. While recording the risks, the program manager should refer to the Known Error Database, KEDB, to identify lessons learned from similar engagements which could be sources of risk in the current engagement. Program manager ensures that appropriate actions and mitigation plans/resolution plans will be implemented as per risk and issue management procedure. PMO updates the risks and issues in program RAID log. Further implementation, monitoring, and controlling of risks, issues till the closure will follow as per risk and issue management procedure. Program manager creates the benefits realization plan based on the benefit profiles, dependencies, risks/issues and so on in consultation with the benefit owners and required stakeholders. The plan includes timelines for measuring the benefits until they are realized. Program board reviews the benefit realization plan and discusses the actions with the benefit owners and program manager. Program manager ensures that actions from the review are executed and makes corresponding updates in the plan. Joint Steering Committee, JSC, reviews and approves the benefits realization plan. Once the plan gets approved, the benefit owner monitors the actions, analyses, and measures the benefits as per the plan. PMO collates the data from program manage and all benefit owners and updates the tracker. PMO creates benefits realization report and shares with management for review and approval. Program manager along with benefit owners analyzes the reports and takes required actions. Program board reviews benefits realization report and discusses the actions with the program manager. Program manager ensures the actions are closed. Joint Steering Committee reviews and approves the benefits realization report. Program manager checks whether any new benefits need to be identified. If yes, it goes back to the start of the process.
A benefits map is an effective way to ensure that the outputs and deliverables of the program map to the planned benefits and achieve the desired outcomes. A benefits map provides a visual depiction of the individual outputs, their benefits, and how these benefits contribute to achieving the objectives. The benefits map links the outputs, the benefits, and the objectives. The benefits map visually depicts the linkages between the deliverables, the benefits, and the objectives. The benefits map is created by the program manager and the program team to ensure that the planned deliverables will link to and create the planned benefits and achieve the desired outcome of meeting the program's objectives. How does PMO support benefit management in a program? The PMO will provide advice and guidance on best practice, like processes, tools, templates, and so on. The PMO will set up and agree benefit management processes and tools and will produce any relevant documentation around roles/responsibilities, inputs/outputs, benefit planning and review cycles, and so on. The PMO will create and maintain documents such as benefit linkage charts, benefit trackers/registers and benefit realization plans. The PMO will use these documents and related forms to track benefits and costs and also ensure business cases are developed in line with benefit data. The PMO will review, QA and challenge benefit inputs, for example, working with finance to challenge the submitted benefit values within a business case, or working with the program manager/function head to review whether outcomes are strategically aligned. The PMO will set up/attend/chair/support benefit review meetings. The PMO will produce or collate benefit data for metric and KPI reporting.
Study the typical deliverables from benefit management process. Benefit map. A benefits map is a visual representation of the business drivers of the program and how they relate to each other. It contains a network of activities that are connected in cause and effect relationships. The left-to-right flow in the map shows how business benefits are to be achieved. It is also used to analyze the impact of changes in the program on the achievement of the intended benefits. Benefit profile. A benefit profile is a comprehensive description of all the attributes of a benefit. The set of all benefit profiles covering all the benefits of a program is the input for preparing the benefits realization plan. Benefit realization plan. The benefit realization plan lists how and when all the benefits expected from the program will be realized. Benefit tracker. The benefits tracker is a report that shows the target values of the benefits and the intermediate values measured at predetermined points in time to demonstrate the progress towards the planned benefits of the program. Note that the benefits management procedure is intended to provide the process for managing benefits realization for the customer who has commissioned the program, and not for internal benefits achieved by Wipro.
The program manager should be able to map the deliverables from the program and its projects to the benefits that the organization will realize, and right through to the achievement of the objectives. How is this achieved? The benefits map provides a visual path from program deliverables, outputs, to program objectives, outcomes. The program manager starts this exercise from the perspective of the objectives. These objectives should be the program objectives, but there should be a clear understanding of how they align to the organization's objectives. Information regarding objectives, deliverables, and benefits should be available in the business case, with clarification provided where necessary by the sponsor or key stakeholders. The program manager then can visually depict the mapping of the deliverables, identification of the benefits from those deliverables, and most important of all, how those benefits achieve the objectives. The items in red are behavioral changes that are required before the benefits can be achieved. These would be not only changes in external customer action required, but also any changes in internal organizational behavior. If these elements are not addressed, the program risks missing the intended objectives. The visual identification of behavioral changes ensures that they will not be missed.
In this section, you can understand the concepts and procedures of stakeholder engagement. The scope of this procedure involves identifying, analyzing, and engaging all stakeholders associated with the program, so that their inputs can be used to gain support for the program and anticipate resistance, conflict, or competing objectives among the program's stakeholders.
Stakeholder is the person, group, or an organization that is directly or indirectly affected by the program. Criteria to determine if an individual is as a stakeholder are: does the person or their organization hold a position from which they can influence the program? Does the person have an impact on the program's resources, material, personnel, funding? Does the person or their organization have any special skills or capabilities the program will require? Does the person potentially benefit from the program, or are they in a position to resist this change? Any individual who meets one or more of these criteria will be identified as a stakeholder. Stakeholders from the same organization may be grouped in order to simplify communication and stakeholder management.
Stakeholder may belong to different groups. Client stakeholders. These may include Program Governance Board, program sponsor, functional managers, end users, operations personnel, finance personnel, warehouse and material handlers, and any other client employee who will be affected by the program. Internal stakeholders. These may include the vertical and service line management, business finance, IMG, FMG, quality, knowledge management, and others. Other external stakeholders. These may include suppliers, partner organizations, government regulatory agencies, environmental groups, or any other individuals who reside outside of the client organization.
Stakeholder engagement principles are mentioned in this slide. During initiate phase of the program, identify key stakeholders for the program, and prioritize these stakeholders. During setup phase, assess the stakeholders, evaluate stakeholder power, involvement, interest in the program and create plans for individual stakeholder engagement. During deliver phase of the program, engage the stakeholders as per plan, continuously evaluate stakeholder and refine engagement plan. During close phase of the program, engage with the stakeholders and present to them the benefits realized and the plan for future benefits and obtain sign-off for closure. Customer stakeholder information including executive stakeholder information from Wipro and customer organization is maintained by the program manager. In addition, a table of specific meetings, their periodicity, format of the meeting, owner of the meeting, audience, objectives of the meeting, format/media of reporting, type of the meeting, in-person or conference call, duration of the meeting, day of the week or day of the month and so on. Such information should be reviewed at the time of the kickoff meeting and finalized. Additional meetings can be added as required to the list. This helps improve communications amongst stakeholder and the program team. This helps the program manager understand the information distribution needs and help communicate status and so on to the leadership and directives down to the team.
Stakeholder is any individual, group or organization that can affect, be affected by or perceive itself affected by the program positively or negatively. The scope of this procedure involves identifying, analyzing, and engaging all stakeholders associated with the program so that their inputs can be used to gain support for the program and anticipate resistance, conflict, or competing objectives among the program stakeholders.
Based on the stakeholder analysis completed, the program team will need to decide how to engage with each stakeholder, who is responsible for the relationship with each stakeholder. Engagement approach: analyze how is the program team going to engage with this person. Relationship owner: analyze who will take responsibility for managing this relationship. The management of key stakeholders, who have the power and authority to make or break the program, should be prioritized for management. The completed stakeholder engagement plan will be used as input to the overall program communications plan.
The program team will identify the stakeholders for the program with assistance from the program sponsor. The identification may take place through brainstorming sessions or discussions with the group of known stakeholders. A stakeholder is anyone involved in decision-making of the program. Anyone affected/impacted by the program. Anyone who contributes to the success of the program. Anyone who possesses skills, knowledge, and expertise that can help the program. Please be aware that in the context of the program not all stakeholders are equal. Some are directly involved in the program, some are not, some are keen to see the program through, some are not, some can directly impact the program, some can't, some are directly impacted by the program, some aren't. Need to classify them into key and other stakeholders.
Key activities with respect to stakeholder engagement are explained here. Program manager, with help of PMO and program board, identifies the stakeholders of the program. If project managers have been identified and appointed for the projects, project managers can contribute to this activity. The emphasis is on identifying as many stakeholders and gathering as much information about them as possible, rather than analyzing the data collected. While the bulk of information is captured during the program initiate/setup phase, stakeholders may be identified throughout the life cycle of the program, as new projects are initiated under the program, or due to changes. Hence, stakeholder identification is a continuous activity. Program manager and project managers conduct similar exercises with suppliers and third parties involved in the program, as and when they get involved in the program. Program manager analyzes the stakeholders to determine their level of power or influence, plan the management approach for each stakeholder, and determine the appropriate levels of communication and participation each stakeholder will have on the program. As part of this analysis, program manager may categorize stakeholders based on their organization or department. Program manager utilizes a power interest matrix to illustrate the potential impact each stakeholder may have on the program. Based on this analysis, the program manager completes the stakeholder analysis matrix, which illustrates the concerns, level of involvement, and management strategy for each stakeholder. Based on the stakeholder analysis matrix, program manager identifies key stakeholders who have the most influence on the program or who may be impacted the most by it. These key stakeholders require the most communication and management. The key stakeholders may then be involved in steering committees, focus groups, gate reviews, or other program meetings or milestones. Program board reviews and approves the stakeholder engagement plan. All team members of the program and the projects associated with it follow the stakeholder engagement plan, for communicating with and engaging the internal and external stakeholders. PMO is the custodian of the stakeholder engagement plan, and on behalf of program manager/program director, monitors that the stakeholder engagements are in accordance with the plan. Any deviations or pain points are brought to the notice of the program manager by the PMO, so that they can be addressed in the updated version of the plan. The program metrics identification, collection, and analysis procedure will measure the effectiveness of the stakeholder engagement plan by collecting and analyzing the metrics for stakeholder engagement. During program closure, program manager updates the best practices and updates the KEDB with lessons learned from stakeholder engagement and closes the plan. If the program is not due for closure, stakeholder engagement continues as per plan.
Once all program stakeholders are identified, the program team should categorize and analyze each of them to determine their level of power or influence, plan the management approach for each stakeholder, and determine the appropriate levels of communication and participation each stakeholder will have in the program. The analysis will also indicate the key stakeholders. Key stakeholders are those who have the most influence on the program or who may be impacted the most by it. They may also be stakeholders who are resistant to the change represented by the program. Key stakeholders require the most communication and engagement. The program manager will develop a stakeholder engagement plan to obtain their feedback on the level of participation they desire, frequency and type of communication, and any concerns or conflicting interests they have. Based on the plan, key stakeholders may be involved in steering committees, focus groups, gate reviews, or other program or milestone meetings. This is necessary to ensure that all concerns of key stakeholders are identified and addressed, and that resources for the program remain available.
Based on the stakeholder analysis matrix, program manager along with PMO identifies key stakeholders who have the most influence on the program or who may be impacted the most by it. These key stakeholders require the most communication and management. Classification of stakeholders based on power and interest. High power, interested stakeholders. These stakeholders should be constantly engaged. The program team should ensure that they are completely satisfied with the execution and progress of the program. These stakeholders should be appropriately involved in decision-making and escalations. The program team should focus on strengthening their relationship with these stakeholders. High power, less interested stakeholders. These stakeholders should be kept adequately informed with the progress of the program and should be involved in key decisions. The program team should focus on strengthening the relationship with these stakeholders. Low power, interested stakeholders. These stakeholders should be kept adequately informed and the program team should maintain regular communication to ensure no major issues are raised by them. Low power, less interested stakeholders. These stakeholders should be informed of relevant updates, avoiding information overload.
Power interest map is shown as an example in this screen.
A few precautions to take care in stakeholder engagement. Do the right mapping of all stakeholders, including sponsors for requirements and KPI in a particular release. We don't do release-wise stakeholder mapping. We try to apply generic stakeholder mapping and loose out the important connects as the stakeholders keep changing release after release. Negotiate the support of stakeholders while setting clear expectations and acceptance criteria for KPIs or requirements. This is very important in order to check the extent of benefit realization that stakeholder can get. Regular one-to-one mapping with all key stakeholders is never enabled to foster the relationships, especially with business stakeholders. This creates a barrier. We normally are very close to IT stakeholders, but not with business stakeholders. So it is better all are mapped and kept engaged. Do not seek explicit soft expectations and needs of stakeholders. Involvement with stakeholder will be purely in technical requirement perspective. As a result, many of the engagements remain too technical and they don't turn into relationships as many stakeholders are not connected personally.
Continuing with the precautions. Restricted Wipro insight. Executive, middle management and operative level stakeholder engagement is normally very account-focused. As a result, the key stakeholders may have very restricted insight about Wipro. They may have perception that Wipro has only good sales team and not so good delivery teams. Enough focus is not given to socialize the stakeholders on Wipro's investment on key programs like ACE, PGMA, DMA, and other skill enablement programs. We don't communicate it with pride that these programs are on par with industry programs and our delivery teams have to go through this mandatorily to bring value to the table. Too many reports from different sources. This is the common problem with most of the stakeholders as they get requirement, design, development, hardening, testing etc. report from various PMISs. Because there are multiple PMIS involved, end-to-end traceability is always a challenge and this creates conflicts and builds negative perception. However, in our RFP responses, we ignore this important point. Leverage on industry standard bodies for delivery. We leverage on case studies and industry references only for sales/pre-sales. But we never leverage on industry references for delivery challenges in spite of having enough supporting data. Giving the perspective of delivery challenge with industry reference in context will change the dimension of stakeholder satisfaction, especially when he knows that similar challenges are there in his competition. Wipro ACSAT and PCSAT process awareness. Many stakeholders are not aware of a CSAT and PCSAT processes and also get confused about the rating scale. They are not aware of the impact on Wipro employees. So, it is important for account leadership to ensure that key stakeholders are briefed about the same and ensure a free and fair feedback.
In customer value management, 4 areas of customer centricity are covered as part of the value delivery in a program. Number 1. Contract commitments tracking, where the PMO team monitors and ensures meeting of all contractual commitments to avoid future dissatisfaction. Number 2. Complaints tracking where corrective and preventive actions are taken on customer complaints or dissatisfaction feedback. Number 3. Value creation, where program team adds value to develop high level of trust and build strategic relationship with customer. These are over and above contractual expectations.
CSAT process awareness. Many stakeholders are not aware of a CSAT and PCSAT processes and also get confused about the rating scale. They are not aware of the impact on Wipro employees. So, it is important for account leadership to ensure that key stakeholders are briefed about the same and
PMO team monitors and ensures meeting of all contractual commitments to avoid future dissatisfaction. Number 2. Complaints tracking where corrective and preventive actions are taken on customer complaints or dissatisfaction feedback. Number 3. Value creation, where program team adds value to develop high level of trust and build strategic relationship with customer. These are over and above contractual expectations. Number 4. Experience enhancement are set of actions which can deliver wow experience to customer.
Important activity for PMO team is to oversee documentation and tracking of commitments made to the customer. PMO involves and supports program manager to review the commitments tracker at regular intervals involving right program stakeholders. Commitment tracker template can be downloaded from below IQ.
This brings us to the end of the PMO module on PMO head and program value delivery aspects. Thank you.